So this segment is brought to you from 44 Albert Drive in Beach Haven West, 264-9 for 3 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, ranch style house with a deep 1-car garage, possibly 2. And so, what are we talking about today? Substantial damage. What does that mean to you as the homeowner and possible future seller? So, let's talk about the process, okay? So, how do we go through this process? Well, you pick up either an application through the township or online, okay? And then in the interim, you are putting together your receipts of the improvements you did to your house after Sandy. Okay, to bring the house back to a habitable state, basically a livable house. All right. How does the township determine substantial damage? Well, they go back to October of 2012, so they go back to that year where Sandy hit, and they see what your house, your home, the structure, not the home and land, your house was assessed for back in 2012, okay? And if the cost or the improvements were north of 50% of what the home's assessed value in 2012 was, well, then they would look to substantially damage that house, okay? If they were under 50%, well, then you would have a letter of non-substantial damage. And so if you haven't gone through this process already, I would recommend that you do, so that at the very least you have it documented and on file, but also you know what you're up against, right? And so if you have any plans of selling in the future, at least this process was done. Even if you don't have any plans of selling, it's always good to have that letter documented with the township. So what does that mean ultimately if my house is deemed substantially damaged? Well, then that unfortunately means you're most likely taking a hit on the sale price of your home. Okay? Because either you or that new homeowner will have to raise the house, and the township will have that on file. And as of right now, the extension is until October of 2021. And so in order for that person to, buy your home, well, they want to make sure that if they're going to spend, $50,000 to $100,000 to raise the house, is the house going to be worth it at the end of the day? So we've got to reverse engineer the numbers. Okay? If the house is not substantially damaged, well, then the township at that point is not going to have that marked where someone would be required to raise a house. And so now we have to go and figure out value based off a non-substantially damaged house, but also what is your current flood insurance policy? So what are you paying premium per year? Where are you on FEMA's guidelines? Right, so if you are in a AE 7 zone, are you 1 feet under? Are you 2 feet under? What is your current flood insurance? So that we can determine a market price for your house, okay? And so a lot more saleable of a home that isn't substantially damaged versus one that is, because that house that is substantially damaged is going to probably trade closer to land value. All right, so if you have any other questions, I know there's a lot of misconceptions out there. So if you have any other questions, feel free to ask. Feel free to ask right down below, comment below, tag someone who may have some questions. Hopefully this helps. But again, if you haven't gone through the process, I suggest that you do. And I will see you on the next one.